Breaking news for seniors and retirees across America. President Trump just signed an executive order that could change how dividend checks work for millions of Americans. And here's what nobody's talking about. Only certain people qualify. If you're collecting Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or living on a fixed income, this could affect your investment income, your retirement accounts, and the money you've been counting on. Stay with me for the next few minutes. This is critical information you cannot afford to miss. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is where we break down Social Security updates, SSI and SSDI changes, and anything that affects your benefits and your money. We don't sugarcoat things. We don't leave you confused. We give you the facts so you can protect what's yours. And right now, there's a lot of confusion about this new executive order. People are panicking. Others don't even know it exists yet. So here's what we're going to cover today. What this executive order actually says, who qualifies and who doesn't, how this could impact your dividend income, and what you need to do right now to protect yourself. If this matters to you, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way, you'll never miss an update that could cost you money or benefits. We're here to keep you informed and protected. Let's get into it. What just happened? All right, let's talk about what's actually going on. President Trump recently signed an executive order that changes how certain dividend payments are treated under federal tax law. Now, I want to be very clear here. This is not about your Social Security check. This is not about your SSI or SSDI payment. This is about dividend income. That's the money you might earn from stocks, mutual funds, retirement accounts, or investment portfolios. For a lot of seniors, especially those who saved for retirement, dividend income is a lifeline. It's extra money that comes in every quarter or every year. It helps pay for medication, groceries, utilities, or just gives you a little breathing room. But here's the problem. This new executive order changes the qualification rules. It changes who gets favorable tax treatment on dividends. And if you don't qualify, you could end up paying more in taxes or worse, losing access to certain investment benefits altogether. Who does this affect? Let me break this down in plain English. This executive order primarily affects Americans who hold dividend-paying stocks or funds. That includes retirees who invested in stocks during their working years, seniors with IRAs, 401ks, or brokerage accounts, anyone receiving quarterly dividend checks from investments, people who rely on investment income to supplement Social Security. Now, the order introduces new qualification criteria. According to early reports, only certain Americans will continue to receive the preferential tax rates on qualified dividends. Others may see their dividends taxed at ordinary income rates, which could be significantly higher. Here's what we know so far. You may still qualify if you're a U.S. citizen or legal resident. You've held the investment for a minimum period, likely over 60 days. The dividends come from U.S. corporations or qualified foreign companies. Your total income falls below a certain threshold. This is still being clarified. You may not qualify if you're receiving dividends from certain foreign investments, your income exceeds new federal limits, the dividends are classified as non-qualified under the new rules, you haven't held the stock long enough to meet the holding period requirement. Now, I know this sounds complicated, and frankly, it is. The government loves to make things confusing. But here's the bottom line. If you're a senior collecting Social Security and you also have a small stock portfolio or a retirement account that pays dividends, this could change how much money you actually keep. Why is this happening? You might be wondering, why now? Why change the rules on dividends? According to the executive order, the goal is to close loopholes and ensure that wealthier investors aren't getting unfair tax advantages. The administration says this will generate more revenue for federal programs and level the playing field. But here's the reality for everyday Americans. Many seniors aren't wealthy investors. They're people who worked their whole lives, saved what they could, and put a little money into the stock market for retirement. They're not millionaires. They're regular people trying to make ends meet. And now, they're caught in the middle of a policy change that could reduce their income. Let's talk about what this looks like in real life. Real-world example. Meet Margaret. Margaret is 68 years old. She worked as a school teacher for 35 years. She's collecting Social Security, and it covers most of her bills. But it's tight. A few years ago, Margaret invested $15,000 into a dividend-paying mutual fund. Every quarter, she gets about $150 in dividend income. It's not a lot, but it helps. She uses it for groceries, co-pays, and little things that Social Security doesn't quite cover. Under the old rules, Margaret paid a reduced tax rate on those dividends, about 15%. That meant she kept most of that $150. But under this new executive order, if Margaret doesn't meet the new qualification requirements, those dividends could be taxed as ordinary income. That could push her tax rate up to 22% or even higher, depending on her total income. Now, instead of keeping $127 after taxes, she might only keep $117. That's $10 less per quarter. Multiply that over a year, and Margaret is losing $40 or more. For someone on a fixed income, $40 matters a lot. And Margaret's not alone. Millions of seniors are in the same boat. What about SSI and SSDI recipients? Now, if you're on SSI or SSDI, you might be thinking, does this affect me? Here's the truth. Most SSI and SSDI recipients don't have significant investment income because SSI has strict asset limits. If you have too much in savings or investments, you can lose your benefits. But some SSDI recipients do have small investment accounts, especially if they became disabled later in life and had already built up some savings. If you're one of those people, this executive order could affect you. The good news is, if your dividend income is small, the impact might be minimal. But you still need to know about it, because every dollar counts when you're living on disability benefits. What's the new schedule? Let's talk timing. The executive order is expected to take effect in the next tax year, which means it could start impacting your 2026 tax returns. But some provisions may be implemented sooner, depending on how the IRS interprets the order. Here's what you need to watch for. Q1 2025. IRS releases updated guidance on qualified dividends. April 2025. Tax professionals begin adjusting their advice for clients' 2026 tax season. New rules fully in effect for dividend taxation. That means you have time to prepare, but not a lot of time. How does this impact you? Let's get practical. If you receive dividend income, here's what could change. Your tax bill could go up. If your dividends are no longer considered qualified, you'll pay a higher tax rate. Your net income could go down. Less money in your pocket means tighter budgeting. Your investment strategy might need to shift. Some seniors may decide to move money out of dividend-paying stocks and into other assets. Your Social Security benefits could be indirectly affected. If your total income increases due to higher dividend taxation, you might end up paying taxes on your Social Security benefits, which you weren't paying before. That last point is huge. A lot of people don't realize that Social Security benefits can be taxed if your combined income exceeds certain thresholds. If this executive order pushes your taxable income higher, you could suddenly owe taxes on your Social Security check. It's a domino effect, and it's something you need to plan for. Okay, I don't want you to panic, but I do want you to take action. Here's what you should do right now. Step 1, review your investment accounts. Pull out your statements. Look at any accounts that pay dividends. This includes brokerage accounts, mutual funds, ETFs, retirement accounts that aren't in a Roth IRA. Write down how much dividend income you received last year. If it's more than a few $100s, this executive order matters to you. Step 2, talk to a tax professional. I'm not a tax advisor, and this is not tax advice, but I strongly recommend you speak with a CPA or enrolled agent who specializes in retirement and senior taxation. Ask them, will this executive order affect my dividend income? Should I adjust my investment strategy? Could this push me into a higher tax bracket or cause my Social Security to be taxed? A good tax professional can run the numbers and give you a clear picture. Step 3, adjust your budget. If you're going to lose $10, $20, or $50 per quarter from dividend income, you need to account for that. Start planning now. Look at your expenses. See where you can cut back or where you might need to shift money around. The worst thing you can do is wait until tax season and get blindsided by a bill you didn't expect. Step 4. Stay informed. This is why this channel exists. Executive orders can be modified. Rules can change. The IRS might issue clarifications or exemptions. You need to stay on top of this. Subscribe to this channel. Turn on notifications. We'll keep you updated every step of the way. Step 5. Don't make rash decisions. I've seen people panic and sell off their investments out of fear. Don't do that. Yes, this executive order changes things, but it doesn't mean you should abandon your financial plan. Talk to a professional, get the facts, then make informed decisions. You've worked too hard to let fear drive your choices. Listen, I know this stuff is overwhelming. Between Social Security changes, SSI updates, tax rule modifications, and executive orders, it feels like the rules are always changing. And they are. But that's exactly why we're here. This channel exists to cut through the noise and give you the information you need to protect your income and your benefits. We don't play games, we don't waste your time, we give you the facts, the deadlines, and the action steps. If that's valuable to you, hit the subscribe button right now and make sure you turn on the bell so you get notified every time we post a new update. Because here's the reality, the government isn't going to call you and explain these changes. Your bank isn't going to send you a step-by-step guide. You have to stay informed on your own, and we're here to help you do that. So subscribe, share this video with anyone who needs to see it, and drop a comment below if you have questions. We read every single one and we do our best to answer. All right, let's wrap this up. Here's what you need to remember. President Trump signed an executive order that changes how dividend checks are taxed. Only certain Americans will continue to qualify for preferential tax treatment. If you don't qualify, you could pay more in taxes and keep less of your dividend income. This affects retirees, seniors, and anyone with investment accounts that pay dividends. The changes are expected to take effect in 2026, but the IRS will release guidance sooner. That means you have time to prepare, but you need to act now. Review your accounts, talk to a tax professional, adjust your budget, and stay informed. You've worked your whole life for your retirement. Don't let a policy change catch you off guard. We'll keep you updated as more information comes out. Until then, stay smart, stay prepared, and stay protected. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.